What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Right out of the gate, this is my first Dodge. I've never owned a Dodge before, but with you know, the ZL1 coming and probably not coming, my ZL1, I'll give you a little bit of backstory here. About a week and a half ago, my dealer called. The car was scheduled to get here on June 8th, and I say was. The car is now back to no ETA status. Therefore, I'm done. I'm done waiting. I've had it with this company. This is no way to treat any customers. I've had it, I'm done. I can't stand this back and forth and the car's ready. No, you can't pick it up. The car's ready. No, well, oh no, now it's not ready again. Like I said in the prior video, once this car gets here, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a nice car. It will absolutely be everything that, anybody that wants to buy a ZL1 wants. Also, what stemmed this was, somebody in my town got delivered one. So, as soon as I saw that, I'm done. It's over. I'm not spending that much money to just be another one. As much as I wanted the Rapid Blue, all these cars are spec'd the same. And that's what I told everybody. As long as you buy a 19 or newer, you'll get the burble tune in it, and you're gonna get pretty much all the TSBs taken care of. All the recalls are done. When you order these cars, everybody gets the same choice for interior. Everybody gets the same choice for stitching. There are very, very few upgrades that you can do to this car. So that means they're all the same. So pretty much color is it. I understand the Hellcats are pretty much the same way, not the jailbreaks. Also, I don't see a lot of Hellcats where I'm at, especially not Redeye Jailbreak. So that pushed me to, order this car. Now, I will say this, there are some pros and cons. A lot more pros go to the Hellcat, and I'll kind of do a vice versa comparison. So, I mean, there are some ways to go with the ZL1. Like I said, I can't stand the way this company is treating me. Not spending, almost $80,000 on a markup, and the markup's between me and the dealer, but it's either way, the money's still coming out of my pocket, and I'm not having this experience. I'm just not doing it. I'm already 4 payments into this car, so definitely, I'm, aside from the deal, I'm probably like $8,000 upside down on the parts I bought, the payments I've made, and that's just all I've got into it since I've signed the loan. I know a lot of people have freaked out about me, purchasing the car before I tangibly have it, but that's no big deal, because if you're fully intentionally on buying the car, paying for it's not really that big of a deal. It's not a big deal at all. My dealer has already agreed to unwind the deal, give me my money back, and it's done. I will have to get rid of the parts on my own. Other than that, there's no big deal. Plus, the ZL1s have already taken a $3,700 price hike, and then the destination charge took another $200 price hike. I'm gonna give a shout out to Cody at Hot1LE. That's probably the best video I've seen so far on as far as 2023 Camaro updates, upgrades, price hikes, and everything involved. So I highly recommend you go over and check his channel out, because the dude's smart, knows what he's talking about, and he's got a lot of good info. It sucks because I feel like I've wasted 6 months of my life on this, waiting for this car. But the peaks and valleys and the roller coaster, dude, stop the bus and let me off. This is, we finally had a date of which the car was going to arrive. Then I saw one in town, kind of made me not want it anymore, and then we went back to no ETA, and then I'm like, dude, I'm for sure done now. The Camaro it'll be cool for somebody, and that's gonna put my dealer at a better spot anyway. So you're gonna have a pre-owned car with 2 miles on it, so you can pretty much ask whatever you want now. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, owning a Dodge. I feel pretty cool. I don't really know how to process owning a Dodge yet. I've never had one. I don't know what to expect. I think that they, throughout the years of having Hellcats out already, they kind of got the shakedown, all the recalls, all the crap, all the problems are, you know, that's pretty much ironed out. I feel pretty good about this purchase. Now, I will give you a rundown. I'm gonna say the total cost of my Hellcat was $92,672, and I'll put a picture of my build sheet up there. I'm gonna say this, that's a lot of money, and I don't care who you are, especially for a four-door car. Touching on the four-door car part, you know, everything around here that I see is Challengers. So on the Mopar scene, it's all Challengers, a lot of 392 Scat Packs. We don't have really any Hellcats running around. So definitely I haven't seen a Hellcat Redeye. So that was kind of the part where I was like, okay, well, you know, I'll just step up and I'll get the Redeye. But I will say this, when I was going through and, you know, kind of testing the waters and checking everything out and seeing, you know, what was, you know, putting a pencil and putting the math to everything, the Redeye, it is a no-brainer option. I mean, oh my God, you can't duplicate that car, that build, that engine transmission combo, all, you know, all the stuff on the inside or whatever, which is very little. You can't duplicate it for $9,500. So that one, you know, that one build, it pays for itself on dividends alone. And I'll get to that here after a little bit. It's more practical. I haven't had a four-door. Everything I've had's been, you know, everything sporty, I should say, has been, it's been two-door. I kind of wish they had a stick. I don't care if it's four-door. The CT5 Blackwing is a better comparison, but you know, when I spec'd that car out, it was 112 grand, 114 grand, something like that. And you know, that's still almost 30,000 cheaper than, no, it's probably, you know, it's 25,000 actually. My biggest concern, and here's the part where I have a problem with, the LT4. The LT4, now it's a great motor, 650, everybody knows. The blower, it just doesn't have the cooling. The ZL1, now the front end on it, and I'm gonna say this as opposed to the, you know, the Challenger or the Charger, it's the only car, even included Mustang, it's the only car that has something that is specifically different. If you see a ZL1 coming down the road, you know it's a ZL1. You know it's unique, it's special, it looks different. In the Dodge lineup, it's just, you've gotta, man, you've gotta be like 10 feet from the car and the car sitting still in order to, you know, really be able to tell the difference, pinpoint all the differences. You know, the front end on the ZL1, it is able to consume a lot of air. One of the big factors of which I would really like to continue to wait for this car, but I can't, man. I'm emotionally exhausted waiting for this car, so it is what it is. There is still a chance it could still come, and you know, we could still go the ZL1 route, but the ZL1 with the, you know, being able to consume a lot of air, you know, because with that big mouth on it, but it needs it. The LT4, I can absolutely see why the Z06 has overheating problems, because that root style blower, that 1.7, the blower is just too small, and the configuration of the way it delivers power is just, it's okay. I'm just gonna put it that way, it's okay. The Hellcat's definitely the way to go. For those of you that don't know, I looked it up. The company that actually makes the actual blower itself is IMI. So they make a lot of turbochargers, you know, across aviation, automotive, you know, you name it. If it burns fuel, they're doing forced induction for it. You know, more so on the OE sides, but you know, you're not gonna hear of them a lot in the aftermarket, but Dodge did work with them to design it from the ground up. So they did make it loud and whiny, you know, like we all like, intentionally. So that's gonna be hard for the aftermarket to keep up on because it was specifically designed that way. But the Redeye blower actually has a screw type. And those of you know, when you have a positive displacement blower, you know, just bolted to the top of the car, heat's your problem, heat's your enemy. And those blowers actually produce a lot of heat. You know, you got two rotors in there turning, and man, just cramming all that air And those of you that don't believe me, like even your little air compressor, which you know, can blow tires up on, the little cheap ones that you have on 2 wheels, go ahead, grab the charge pipe. the little pipe going into the tank, grab it when it's running. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It gets so hot, it's insane. I mean, you're just taking all that volume of air, cramming it together, you're crunching it down, and then you're, you know, forcing it through the engine. Heat is a big problem, and especially if it's not gonna deliver it efficiently or in the best way. Now you have, when you have those, pretty much you're gonna have 2 style on those. You're gonna have the root style and you're gonna have the screw style. Both of the technology has been around forever, but the screw has definitely been, you know, reworked over the years, generations, and it is a lot better at making power. So pretty much, you know, off idle to about 2,500. The roots is a little bit more efficient, but the, you know, about off idle to 2,500, the screw is more efficient in the upper RPM range. So the roots is more efficient in the lower, you know, idle to, you know, 2,000, 2,500 range. And the screw, it's actually opposite. I have a theory maybe that's how they're getting such good fuel economy from the LT4. You know, because once your car is moving down the highway, it really doesn't, you know, it only takes like 20, 30 horsepower to maintain its speed. So if you can keep it within that range, I think that's where the LT4 is coming up with all this good fuel economy. But seriously, once you start getting into it, the power degradation, the loss of power, and just the heat problems this blower has, you're gonna be a lot better just to spend the money and get the HELLCAT, because that way, you know, you're gonna get the 2.7. Both of them are 6.2s. The 2.7 blower is a screw type, so that you don't have to replace it ever. You're gonna get a nice whiny blower. You know, you're gonna easily hit the 4 digits. You know, this thing easily hit 1,000 horsepower. You know, aside from the 6.2, the Demon motor, or the Red Eye, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. The rotating assembly is better, so it has a stronger crank, stronger rods, stronger pistons. The block, now the standard HELLCAT and the Red Eye have both cast iron blocks, which is good. It's going to be able to take a lot more abuse, a lot more, it's going to be a lot better in the long run. The LT, I'm going to say is all aluminum, but with the gussets running down the water jackets to reinforce the cylinder walls, that's a big upgrade for the LT motors, and that is going to pay dividends down the long run as far as being able to make big power as well. HELLCAT's cast iron's a little bit heavier, but the Red Eye is a little bit different as opposed to the HELLCAT because it does have more webbing on the block for structural, you know, just making it more rigid. The Red Eye actually has different head castings. Now, as far as I'm aware, the valve train is the same and you're getting the same CFM rating through the head, but the head casting itself is different. It does have more webbing, which is kind of nice because that webbing acts like a heat sink. It pulls heat away from the actual casting itself and allows it to dissipate into the atmosphere. The camshaft is different. I haven't got into the specifics, and if I end up getting this car, we'll go through all of this. You know, the thing has 2 fuel pumps, the screw style supercharger, and it's just a lot of car for the $9,500 upgrade. So if you're ever specking out a HELLCAT, go with the base, at least the Red Eye. It's expensive up front, but it's gonna pay dividends. The suspension is better in the ZL1 because it does have the ELSD and the mag ride. I don't know if the mag ride is gonna be able to handle it because seriously, my SS1LE, I've already got 1 shock leaking. You know, just from hard cornering and you know, driving it. Does have 40,000 miles on it. I suppose that is to be expected, but I think that those Multimatic shocks are going to be able to freaking, you know, take the abuse a lot better than the mag ride. Nonetheless, though, the ELSD is where the magic's at as far as that car. You know, it being able to lock and unlock and lock and unlock and doing it so fast, and it knows, you know, it can read in conjunction with, it has its own ECM as far as you know, being able to read throttle response, throttle load, you know, steer angle, speed, everything. There's a lot of data going through the ZL1. I think the chassis is a lot more capable than the HELLCAT. It just is. That's just the way it is. I mean, you're talking 110-inch wheelbase on the ZL1 versus I think 120 on the Charger. The Challenger's 116, but it's going to be a little bit more of a nimble car. I mean, the interior room, the practicality, and everything as far as, you know, being able to just do minor upgrades, and you're pretty much at 1,000 horsepower daily driver. The HELLCAT's gonna be the way to go. Let's go to the Mac. We'll go through the build. I'll talk about why I went with Dodge, and we'll wrap it up. Okay, so the first thing I did was, when you go jailbreak, all the colors are 0. There's one, the Smoke Show is $95. I don't know why, but the thing is if you're committed to 90,000, what's 95 bucks? I mean, so I did end up going just black. I think that the black Chargers they just look freaking mean, especially in the wide body. I didn't go with any stripes. I did not go with any of the satin or any of that stuff. I did go with the Devil's Wheel. The Devil's Wheel is my favorite Challenger or Charger across the board, period. I think that wheel just looks so freaking good. It's right up there with my SS1 LE wheel, I think. I did go with the Devil's Wheels in Brass Monkey, and it worked out perfect because that's the wheel I wanted in the color I wanted. So I ended up going, you know, these tires, I'm not paying $700 additional tires because, you know, that's another set of rear tires that you can burn off. So I just left the standard tires on. The calipers, they come red from the factory. That kind of reminded me when I was growing up. It was a big thing to have, you know, in the 90s or whatever, to have red brake calipers. So I like the bronze, red, and black color combo. If I want, I can always change it later. It's no big deal. I did pay $199 for the Brass Monkey badges. I just think it's a cool touch. Especially with the jailbreak, you really can't beat it. Now the SRT spoiler, it's just pretty much a color change. It's basically the same lip. I don't understand why that's $1,000, so I definitely passed on that. Now when it comes to the interior, I went with the standard Laguna leather. The only thing I really wanted, and you know, after having my SS1 LE, was I wanted the Alcantara steering wheel, which you can pay for that separately. So that's what I did. I opted for the sepia peanut butter buckskin baseball glove interior, whatever you want to call it. I did opt for that, and I opted for the matching seat belts as well. So let me see here. As far as if you're gonna have a four-door, you're obviously gonna have passengers. So the sound system, you know, you're not always gonna be on the gas. So I went with the Harman Kardon audio group. That's really about it. I did opt to go with the carbon fiber the interior pieces. I went with the SRT Alcantara steering wheel, and that was it for me right there. There was no need for me to pay, what is that, $1,000 when I can just pay $200 and get the wheel. That's what I wanted anyways. I always did like the brown color combo, and yeah, the headliner I was cool with. I don't like sunroofs. They always end up leaking. I've got one on my GTP. It's no big deal. I don't see the need to pay $2,000 for it. I'm gonna pass. The engine transmission, you really don't get an option. Man, I would just love to uncheck that gas guzzler tax one, but yeah, that's pretty much it right there. That's the finished product. So yes, that total brought me up to $92,672. I'm gonna say this, that after ordering with Dodge, the fact of you can I'll put it up here. Dodge is cool because they were like, no strings attached, come in and order it. You know, whichever car shows up, no hard feelings. If the ZL1 gets here, go buy the ZL1. If this gets here, come buy this. And I said, oh, that's a deal. That's no brainer. No money down. The dealer I'm working with pays MSRP. There's no markups. And also when the car goes to get built, because they processed this order little over a week ago. So I'm waiting for Dodge to get my first email. I work directly with Dodge. So, I mean, it's crazy to me how much more sense this makes. So no markups, no money down, no commitment. And I'm also working with Dodge one-on-one throughout the whole build process. Destination fees were like $1,600. So it's a little bit more than the Chevrolet was, but it's coming from Canada. So, I mean, it is coming from a further, you know, a greater distance. So that really doesn't bother me that much. The fact that this car comes with 807 horsepower and it's just, you know, pretty much ready to go from the factory, there's not gonna be a whole lot I have to do to it. If I do anything to it, it's gonna be cosmetic. The ZF transmission's supposed to be pretty nice. I mean, you're supposed to get all the technology from the Demon passed down. It's gonna have like the super fast shifting, you know, it's gonna have the inner chiller. It's gonna have a bunch of stuff that I will definitely cover once the car gets here. So I'm kind of pumped. So far, I like the buying process better. If they're just straight up and legitimate across as far as honesty and on the shipping time goes, I'll be impressed. And yeah, the warranty, I think that they've got all the bugs shooken out of this car already. I mean, this platform's been around forever. I really don't see a whole lot of problems as far as, you know, long-term ownership. These cars have already dramatically went up in value. You know, it's kind of smart on their part because, you know, if the car gets to the dealership and I don't buy it, it'll sell, because these cars are just flying off the showroom, even if it is $93,000 or whatever. Any questions? Drop it below. Other than that, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Take care. Catch you guys on the next video. Until then, we'll see you later.